Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm working on an exciting project because it's a project for my comfort and enjoyment. I'm putting a new stereo in my 2007 Jeep Wrangler four-wheel drive JK. So this is my daily driver. This is why I drive to work every day. It also has the tow setup on the bottom, so the towing package setup, if you can see it there, for towing behind our RV, so it's also our towed. I think I've done a couple of things to this, but today I'm going to replace, so when we bought this, it had a Pioneer stereo system in it, which is a decent touchscreen Bluetooth stereo system. I'm not a huge fan of the map and some of the other things, and I really want Apple CarPlay, so I got one that's larger, so it's a 10-inch screen, and I'll show you it here. So this is the same one that I put in our RV. I think it's like 119 bucks or 117 bucks on Amazon, and it's a 10-inch massive screen. My wife has a 2017 Wrangler, and we already replaced hers with a one off of Amazon that was quite a bit more expensive, about 4 times as expensive, but it also had a complete molded dash kit that fit over the top to make it look, completely seamless. So that one is really cool. I really want an upgrade on mine. This is my opportunity. This is really inexpensive. So we're gonna get inside here. I'll show you what we got. This is the Pioneer stereo that we have. I'll switch this out. I'll get started on this one, switch it out, and yeah, we'll bring you guys back in and show you what we did, and you'll get to see the final product, and I think it'll be awesome. I think what is unique here is this little overhang, and that stereo actually hangs out a little bit, so I think I'll be able to kind of cheat it out with this overhang, so it won't be a big deal, but it's going to be a much larger screen, much nicer, and I'm going to be much happier. The most important tools here are these plastic removal tools, so you're not going to use a screwdriver or something else. But I'm going to start by popping this top cover off, and then finding the screws to this front plate so I can pull it back, and then we can see how quickly we can get our new radio in there. And these are awesome because they don't mar up or destroy the surface, so that's awesome. Another good, awesome tool. Obviously, the ratcheting screwdriver is great, but these little mini magnetic trays. So I got that top plate off. I got these 2 screws out. Now the rest of this panel has to come down, and there's just another little panel here that pops down, and then I think there's only 2 more 7mm screws. Yep, and it's a little tight, but you get one of these tools behind there, and the shoe drops right down. All right, so now I got access to the stereo. It's got 4 more 7mm screws. Let's see if we can slide her out. Yeah, before I got too far on this, I did want to show this stereo came with a special dash kit here because the original was wider than a standard stereo. So I'm gonna have to figure something out once I get this out of there and the new stereo ready to mount up, because how uniquely it mounts up. But I'll show you what I do so that hopefully it can be copied and you can do the same thing, and hopefully it's not going to be a pain in the butt, and hopefully that's not foreshadowing for anything. Fingers crossed. But also in unique things, I don't know if you can see it, but let's see if I can pull it out here. The last guy put the Bluetooth receiver down there. I don't know how this, I mean, it worked mostly, but I'm not understanding how that was able to pick up Bluetooth signal down there. I'm gonna run the new one out of this hole up here and onto the top of the dash, but I don't understand it. All right, back to it. think I just showed you the kind of that mounting kit that was in there from a previously larger radio. So what I did was I took these small metal brackets that come with the new stereo, and I had some 3/8" bolts in a kit there with some nuts. So I went ahead and mounted those through. This is a, I don't know if you can remember, Metra, the DDXL6511. That's the dash kit that this previously had, where these two mount up here. So this one and the bottom one will mount to the dash, and then it mounts into this. So this will be the left side, this will be the right side. So here you can see there's two screw holes for two small bolts that come with the kit here. Now this will slide in, and I'll have room to get along the side of it, just like in the RV, so that I can reach in there and adjust those. I can easily, adjust and tighten those bolts up. So next thing is, it's got this access. I'm not sure if there's a part number on this. This is a CHTO-0307 and up Chrysler Can-Am turn-on. So I know a lot of these vehicles, and I'm just learning it with the Mini Cooper, the problem going through with that stereo, they need something like this. It's not as easy as plug and play, especially if when you close the door or when you turn the key off, the radio still on, it stays on until you open the door. There are computer controls that you can't just plug this into that are going to work like that. So this guy does it. So all I'm going to do here is I've got the wiring harness for the new stereo right here. I'm going to cut where these connectors are, basically off of the pigtail for the old stereo, the old replacement stereo, and then I'm just going to wire it in where these nuts are. I'm just going to wire in the new harness to this access module, and we'll roll with that. So I'll wire that up, and then we'll get this back in the vehicle. All right, so I went ahead and mounted this kit, this dash kit. So one thing to pay attention to, and I showed you the numbers, there is an L and an R, so there's a left and a right, because there is a little detent here, and then it's cut out on the bottom back here so it can fit around this. But I also found something else. One of the problems that this Jeep has been having is getting the blend doors, especially on defrost, to go fully defrost. So down here, right here is the cable. The cable was just bent. It was bent down and then back up. So I just manhandled it with some pliers, bent it back into shape, and now it seems to be, reaching the full range of my blend doors. So I'm going to put this cover back on just to see how it fits, maybe mock the radio up, and then I'll get onto the wiring, plug it in, and we'll see how it goes. All right. After a little swearing and being upset at myself and Jeep, and more so the aftermarket radio, I had this all buttoned up, because once it's buttoned up, I could adjust these without, get to all the wiring, no problem. Right, wrong. I'm dealing with this with another aftermarket radio. The aftermarket radio is just a little bit wider than a lot of these US brand aftermarket radios. For some reason, the stereo body, the back of it that needs to fit between here, won't fit. So I think I'm gonna have to take this back out. I'm gonna have to probably adjust, maybe trim down both of these, both of these little pieces of this trim kit with my Dremel, I'm guessing, and then put it back together, see if I have enough clearance. All right, guys, we are completely back together. The monitor looks awesome. It's huge. Let's see any of the tips or tricks. Let me see if I can get you in here. You can see, hopefully beside this, in there you can see the metal frame, and that metal frame behind the mic. So behind this metal frame, or behind here is that metal frame, and I think you can see the metal frame there, and the two screws. So that's what kind of comes out of the sides and then mounts. So if you take those screws out, this whole thing just slides right out, basically. Yeah, this I ran the mic over here, and it's just kind of tucked in here. It can move a little bit, but it is clipped in underneath this panel. So I think it's just going to sit right there. That's a pretty good spot for it. I did run the GPS here so we can actually see the GPS. As you can see, I got Apple CarPlay up and running really nicely. One thing about this stereo, I did have that, was it access kit? This stereo does not have a blue and white amplifier power wire coming off it. So when I initially plugged it in, I could not figure out, broke out the test light, looked at some power, and then found out that the blue and white wire that came out of the old head unit did not have, it was connected to a blue and white wire on that radio harness kit. So I just took the auxiliary wire, ran the two red auxiliary wires together into the blue and white wire. So obviously the red wire comes into in and then out of one end of a crimp, and then the blue and white wires on the other end, and then it goes to the red. Well, in this case, there's two reds that go into a pink. So it was pink in this one, but it's red. So the auxiliary power wires when key on are together, and then the white and blue is powered to that as well. So when key is on, it's powering up the amplifier, because this has a amp. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, this is awesome. You know, I could just click on my maps. It's going to have my miles per hour. I've already got all my stuff programmed into it here. You've got the apps on the car. I've got some awesome audiobooks that I'll listen to. And then anything else that I want to connect here, we are good to go. So yeah, this thing is all set already. I know we're super happy with this in the RV. So hopefully I'm just as pleased with it here. This does lead me to believe that maybe my wife's vehicle, when she turns it on, she doesn't always have audio. So sometimes it's intermittently not powering the amplifier. So maybe I can take that apart and do a quick look at that. But otherwise, mine is all set already. And I'll put this back into regular drive. Get this all buttoned up here. Everything else is all put together. We're all set. So thanks guys for watching. If you learned something, awesome. If you got any questions, put them down there and I can answer, you know, what type of stereo, what we did here. But yeah, we've already made a couple trips and used this exact stereo in the RV, and it works great. It also pops back to the, no, it does not go to the backup camera, because we did a separate monitor, but this one would be amazing if it did. I'm not going to put the reverse kit in here because it's a small Jeep. I can see just fine. Again, thanks for sticking around. We'll see you next time.